Bridges ya llegó.
Tus puentes de oportunidades.
Bridges ya llegó.
By Martha Reyna Connects.
By Martha Reyna Connects.
This is Bridges by Martha Reyna Connects. Bridges, tus puentes de oportunidades.
Welcome to Bridges by Martha Reyna Connects. You might be wondering, she sounds a little bit different. Well, that's because I'm not Martha Reyna. So this is actually Alessandra. I am Martha's daughter. But anyways, picture this. It's the morning after a sleepover at my house. Jake and I had just finished a very random breakfast. It was like protein bagels with scrambled eggs and some Mexican salsa that my grandma made. It was a little bit of like a Mexico meets America situation. Very, very random. But anyways, we're sitting around the table when my mom says, why don't we just record a podcast episode? And somehow we ended up with microphones attached to our pajamas talking about, what it's really like to be a part of our generation. School, college, friendships, social media, AI, our future, and just, like the bits and pieces in between. No big setup. It was literally just us at breakfast with some microphones and two generations of opinions at the table. So without further ado, here you go, Martha. You can have your podcast back now.
Welcome to Martha Reyna Connects, a space where I connect with people, ideas, and experiences, and different perspectives that make me curious. Today is a very special conversation because I'm sitting down with two young people I know very well. My daughter, Alessandra, and one of her best friends, Jake. Yake. Okay, they're part of the same generation, but there are two different points in their lives. Jake is going into his senior year of high school. He loves interior design and you're very creative. And he's at that exciting and probably slightly terrifying moment when everyone starts asking, where are you going to college? What are you going to study? What are you going to do with your life, right? Pretty intense. Alessandra is heading back into her junior year at Northeastern University in Boston. She's already had a couple years to experience college life, and she's also part of Northeastern's weightlifting team, which has become an important part of her college experience. Her career, money, social life, social media, fitness, technology, creativity, all of that, and what they want their future to look like. So let's start very simple. Who are you? What are you studying or hoping to study, Jake? And what are you interested in right now?
I'm starting?
Yes.
Okay. I'm Jake. I'm 17. I'm interested in studying interior architecture. And that would certify me. Ay, Dios. Ay, ven.
Simba is on top of the sound bar, but Simba's our cat. Our Siamese cat. Well, Alessandra's cat. So anyway, continue.
I want to study interior architecture, and that would certify me as an interior designer and an interior architect. And yeah.
That's very nice. So this year is going to become a very intense year because it's going to be, you're a senior, you have all these social activities and things and milestones that you're going to be celebrating, but also all the work to apply for colleges.
Yep.
Okay. So Alessandra, your turn to answer. So who are you? What are you studying? And what are you interested in right now?
My name is Alessandra. I am a student over at Northeastern University. I am a finance major with a data science minor because in today's world where everything is becoming AI, I feel like it's important to incorporate it into our toolbox instead of rejecting it and, fearing the possibilities that AI could bring
And that was your thought on
So that was-
changing or declaring your major for data science.
Yeah, so that was kind of my thought process. I believe it was Father's Day or Mother's Day. It might have been Mother's Day. I was talking to one of my good friends, Daniel, who also goes to Northeastern, and he was telling me how he was a double major. I forget what his first major is, but the second one was data science. And I kind of, I talked to him a little bit about what it is, and he was like, it's not strictly coding, it's not intense CS courses that you need to take. It's kind of more like superficial in terms of, really touching that CS topic, if that makes sense.
You already have 2 years under your belt, right? Not belt. Under your belt. So is college what you thought it was going to be? Is it different? What surprised you and what was how you imagined it?
I think what really caught me off guard was the freedom, the absolute freedom that you have in college. Everything is in your court. Everything you do is your responsibility. You are quite literally responsible for taking care of yourself, for your, of your living space, of your, your duties as a student, but also as a young adult. And there's not much help sometimes. I feel like there were several times where I was feeling very, very alone and uncomfortable. But, like they always say, growth is uncomfortable. And if you're uncomfortable, it means you're growing. And I can definitely remember several moments where I was excruciatingly uncomfortable. But they have definitely began to shape me as not only a person, but as a growing adult.
So if you could go back and talk to yourself at the beginning of that, senior year of high school, which is the exact same moment, right, or phase that Jake is going to go into, what would you tell yourself, which in this case Jake can leverage as he's going into senior year?
Definitely build your habits early, because it is very, very hard to break old habits the older you get and the more you mature. So start, incorporating moving your body or something, you know what I mean? Eating healthy, prioritizing schoolwork over going out, and, being able to have your priorities in check. I think that kind of ties into prioritizing your schoolwork, but and also branch out, network, talk to people. I know everybody says the word network, but
It sounds like cliche, like,
it's
oh, the
so
network.
it's such a buzzword. It's
What does it really mean, network?
network is
Or networking?
again like connect building a connection with someone, a connection that, this is going to sound bad, but can benefit you in future endeavors. And let's say I network with someone that works over at State Street. I really wanted to work for State Street. Networking with them gives me the opportunity to have an insight on maybe the company, maybe who's working there, on the environment of the company. And it's kind of like an insight, an insight, like Ray, is that what you say? Like an insider?
You get an insight, some insights from the company.
Yeah. So,
okay.
And, maybe you're talking to someone at a bar, and they say, oh, I actually work for State Street, and, my team is hiring. And you would have never known if you hadn't just talked.
And
connected
with
had a conversation with them.
Yeah. And that's also why I think it's very important to treat everyone with respect,
Yeah.
Because you never know, right? And not only because, oh, you never know and I should just, because I'm going to leverage this person in the future. It's just because it's the right thing to do. And I feel like when you do the right thing, like things kind of like work in a better way for you.
Absolutely.
Okay. So, and then we'll have many questions for you, Jake, as well. But anyway, so you both have interests outside of academics. Jake, you have with design, right? And this architectural interior design stuff. And Alessandra with weightlifting. So how important is to have something that's yours outside of school, Jake? How does that feel for you to have this passion?
It's important in the ways that you have different things for your life. So, you have the things that you need to do, like school, like work, like taking care of yourself, eating healthy, going to the gym, like Ali said. But also on the other side, there's things that you have to do that you enjoy, the leisure. You only live once. You have to enjoy at least some of your time. So I think finding the balance of the requirements and the leisure things that you enjoy it's a good balance.
Yeah. And do you so does creativity and design give you that, like you say, give you an outlet, like to express yourself?
Yeah. And it even gives me a moment just to sit down and decompress. At the end of the day, I can just go sit in my bed and open up my computer and design a house, or
That's amazing.
redecorate my room on a software platform. Really, you kind of let go and just let your brain shut off.
And it feels good, right?
It feels great.
And especially, I love how you say, I open my computer, I use these tools to redesign. You're leveraging technology to unlock even further creativity with you. You're not,
Absolutely.
because you can just say ChatGPT or whatever app it is, design it for me. But that takes away that feeling of you're doing this, you're creating.
Yeah.
And when we create, we feel like true humans, which is, I love to hear that you're unlocking that part.
Yeah, the AI is, in ways it's helpful, but in other ways it's not.
Yeah.
And it's not benefiting people. And a lot of that is creatively, literacy. It's causing a big problem.
Yeah, yeah.
But like Ali said, having it in your toolbox, use it when it makes most sense.
For your advantage, exactly.
At work, I use ChatGPT at work.
Exactly.
I plug in information about a client and I say I need to write them an email. This is their past information, past conversations I've had with them. Boom, within 30 seconds I have an email to send to them and I'm done with that task.
Exactly. And then you
That's
can move
helpful.
Exactly.
But I just don't like it being used for
or for everything.
creativity that humans are supposed to embrace themselves.
Yeah. And don't you guys think that and I do the same, right? If I have like a lot of things to summarize from meetings and stuff, that's what I do. But and I leverage Copilot from Microsoft. But when we need to make sure that our and it's not honesty, but authenticity comes through on the email.
Yes.
Yeah, leverage it. But hey, do a quick edit, read it, at least process it to know, okay, this is what I'm sending my client or my customer, whatever. So I like what you're saying is use it when it's good for you to leverage it, but don't over rely on it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's really good. And of course, the topic of AI. But I'm going to come back to you, Alessandra. So you're part of the Northeastern weightlifting team. What has been on the weightlifting team taught you about yourself?
That's a good one. I haven't been weightlifting for too long, but Jake, you have a microphone. Oh, you took it off.
It's okay.
de veras.
You can go.
Oh my God. I was going to pee with a mic. No. Weightlifting has really shown me that you can always push your limits. And our bodies are capable of incredible things. I never suspected that I would be good at at this sport, but with a lot of practice and mental strength and just pushing yourself to an uncomfortable zone, you find out that your body is a machine, and that it can it can do some pretty cool things. Not only that, but I've tried, this is still a huge one for me, but it's teaching me patience, because weightlifting is such a technical sport, and the technique does not come immediately. The technique comes with time. And I feel as if with things like, this is going to sound so stupid, but hear me out. We have Amazon Prime now, right? Mm-hmm. And we have Google, we have Instagram, we have TikTok, and whether you buy something or search something up, you get results. You get what you're looking for immediately. Mm-hmm. That does not translate into weightlifting. You do not get things right away in weightlifting. It takes time. It takes patience. And patience is one of the best traits that a person could have. And it's something that I absolutely need to work on. But I think through this sport, it's really going to, it's going to teach me a lesson about patience. It already has.
And so patience. I love that. It's almost like grounding you, right? From all the other things
grounding.
that happen automatically versus this. Mm-hmm. And think about it. I think Jake mentioned that, like on the creativity side, and now you're mentioning our bodies are incredible and capable of so many things. Our bodies are a machine. That's something, if we're going to put our AI hat into this, that's something that AI cannot give you. That feeling when you design the perfect room and then you build it, not ChatGPT, not that tool. That feeling we need to stay on, because that's what makes us happy at the end of the day, right? And yes, it's ChatGPT say, hey, ChatGPT, lift 100 kilos and do like a clean and jerk. ChatGPT cannot do that for us. Or let's get a robot that does that for you. We need to be cautious, right, with technology, and going back, using it to your advantage for the things that are repeatable tasks and things that can, if you remove them from your table, you can do other more impactful things, right? Okay, so this is almost like closer to wrapping up, but if, right, we think about this generation, what do we adults get completely wrong about people your age? I think this is a very intense question.
I like that question, though. That I personally think, from my experience, a lot of adults think we don't have any drive or like the desire to succeed or go anywhere. And while that's true for some people I know, like mm-hmm. some kids my age, mm-hmm. it's not true for all of us. I have friends whose parents could provide everything for them and they still work 3 jobs. Just because they like providing for themselves and they like working and mm-hmm. they want to build that work ethic. I have other friends whose parents can't really provide everything for them, but don't work at all. And it's...
Yeah, they don't have the desire.
Yeah, and So I see friends of mine who have the drive, and I see friends of mine who don't.
You see both ends of the spectrum.
I see both ends. And yeah, I mean, I know from my personal experience, just a few years ago, I didn't really have the drive. And then I got my first job and I was like, oh, I kind of like this. Like I kind of like working. I enjoy this, having my own money, having my own freedom. And then as I grew up and just matured more, I kind of saw where if I put the effort in, where I could bring my life. And, you know, every day I just move closer towards the end goal of working hard. And yeah, so I think that's a big thing that I hear adults all the time. You guys have no drive. You just want everything handed to you.
You're entitled.
Yeah. Personally, if someone wants to hand me $1 million, go right ahead. But I'm perfectly fine with making that million by myself.
Yes,
Yeah.
I love that.
When people see what they can achieve, they say, oh, I could probably achieve even more than this. And it's just climbing that ladder.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
you see that you can get an award for this. All right, well, that's a nice award. Can I get the next award? You know?
Yeah.
It's just slowly
Yeah.
climbing that ladder and believing in
Yeah.
yourself.
No, I think that's awesome. So, okay, so I like that, and I think like I was talking to some professors, like helping like Career College, Northeastern, Harvard, and I how do I say this right? I do hear that all the time. This generation is lost. They don't know what to do. I think this generation is very smart. Yeah. You guys are accomplishing things faster than we were. Like, I mean, if it's building an app or starting a business because you have the tools, and the kids that are really that have the drive are thinking, I'm gonna leverage AI to move faster. So I think that's amazing. Okay, so as we, you know, there's so many things I want to ask you, but we don't want to, you know, do this like a super long conversation. So when you think about, okay, imagine that you guys are 30 years old. What do you see? Like if you could have like a lens into the future.
Ideally, by then, I've started to build a successful firm for architecture, design. That'd be ideal. I don't see why that's not possible. Like I said, if you have the drive, you can do it. So that's kind of the main goal right there.
I like it.
10 to 15 years, yeah.
At least you have a vision, you have something. Right? And I see it. I mean, I see your drive. Alessandra, where do you see yourself when you're like 30 years old? What do you imagine?
Probably working at a very strong financial firm, maybe, you know, in private equity or private credit.
Okay.
So yeah, I don't know.
Very nice. So let's okay, one more question, and then let's, you know, open it up for, you know, thoughts. What has made, with all the social media, TikTok, Instagram, I know you guys don't use Facebook, but all the tools that are out there, what has made your generation more connected or more lonely?
Social media in both aspects of that.
Wow. Okay.
Honestly, this is a very bad like comparison. She looks like a babushka.
Simba's not letting us record. He's like trying to get in the mix of things. Simba, we're gonna have some questions for you.
I would say social media really does both.
It ruined.
Well, what was the example I was going to use? It's like a drug. You can use it in a good way or you can use it in a bad way.
I don't know if you can use drugs in a good way.
No, you could use a painkiller in a good way.
Yeah, you're different drugs like in general
surgery.
Pharmaceuticals or whatever.
You know,
yeah.
you could take a painkiller after surgery so you're not in excruciating pain.
But you don't take.
And that's a decent use for it. But you could continue taking it for 40 years after and just slowly kill your body. There's the good use for it, the beneficial use for it, and there's the negative use for it. And we haven't learned, our generation is not aware of the boundary of social media and how you should use it, how often you should use it, how you should view it.
Including ourselves.
And even me, I haven't mastered that.
Yeah. But at least you're aware.
I'm not a big social media person. Like, yeah, I'll post every once in a while.
Yeah.
I'll look at my friends' posts. I
like to live in the
TikTok.
moment. You know what I mean?
But I keep myself busy. I'm always doing something that's keeping myself away from laying in my bed and scrolling on TikTok for 6 hours.
Yeah.
And that's ruined the connection of even friendships. Like, you want to go hang out with your friend? Yeah, sure, come over. And then 3 hours later, you realize you haven't even spoken a word to each other yet because you're just both on your phones.
So before we finish, what's one question you want to ask Alessandra about college or what comes next? So it's going to be one question for her and then what you're going to ask.
We've been trying to wrap this up for like 15 minutes.
It's going to be a lot of editing.
See.
Okay.
I don't know if I have any questions.
So you're like, he's good. He's good to go.
I think I'm good.
He knows what you live through your friends that are in college. So
Yeah,
you know.
and I also don't worry too much. I'm just gonna see I'm just gonna experience it for myself and kind of just see how it goes.
So I like that. So don't set any expectations.
Yeah.
Do the best thing you can. Try to use the tools in the right way so you can unlock your creativity and being a human, right?
Yeah.
I like it. Alessandra, any questions for Jake?
Yake.
My Jake?
I want to ask a more personal question because
Adios. Okay.
I want to feed my ego a little bit. What is one thing that you have learned about, like, in the time that we've been friends? What have you learned from me?
Oh, wow.
Wow,
That's how we're getting now. This is a part of the
want to
podcast.
feed your ego.
I do want to feed my ego.
What have I learned? It's from...
Wow, that's a... You should have come up with the questions. And
How to eat.
How do we eat tacos?
How do we eat tacos? Frijoles?
One thing I learned from Allie was the best taco spot in Providence. Did that feed your ego?
Oh my God.
I mean, I definitely we were definitely fed.
We're fed. When we're
fed,
together,
all
we're
right.
fed.
Literally. Oh my God.
Yeah, that's what I've learned from you. The best taco spots.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was so meaningful.
Okay. Now.
I can't keep it too cheesy for too long. I'm sorry.
Yeah. What have you learned from him?
I've learned a lot from being friends with Jake. I've learned what a true friend looks like. In the past, I think I've had, friendships that were very one-sided. But with Jake, the effort is very, the effort and the love is it's always there. And I've Jesus Christ, I don't know. I'm just kidding. No. The importance of laughter.
That is
Because
true.
You
me
guys
and
are always
Jake are
laughing.
always
We are always laughing.
And if I'm having a bad day, a bad moment, and yeah, I know I can text Jake and within seconds we'll be cackling over some BS, and everything feels like it's gonna be okay. And yeah, I think those are two things that I can list off the top of my
Very nice. And I mean, I see things from the outside, and I see a very cute friendship. You guys give yourself the space when needed, but then if you really need each other, you're there. You have fun cooking, going to Chick-fil-A,
We can make a day out of like literally getting
Nothing.
gas or going to like the pick up my medicine.
Even last night going to Cumberland Farms. Like,
And getting a, oh my god, you should have seen us. Jake literally.
What?
she walked into Cumberland Farms like that.
Oh my God!
And
come on,
she had flip-flops and socks on.
Oh my God! Very, very fashionable.
Nobody in the store, just us, and we were just laughing.
Oh my gosh!
And I knew no one was gonna be there. That's why I
Oh
did
my
it.
God! Well, you never know. We can learn so much from each other, and I think listening, I mean, to the way you see the world, right? Your ideas, how your experience in life, that helps a lot. I think that's pretty cool. So thank you, Alessandra, Ali, and Jake. We call him Jake.
Jake.
Jake, for sharing your perspective. And to everyone listening, stay curious. We'll come.
Say curious.
Curious.
Curious. Curious.
Curious. So I have my coach, voice coach here. Keep connecting, networking, learning from people. And I will see you on the next Marta Reyna Connects on Bridges. Of course, this is going to require a lot of editing, but anyway, I think it was a great conversation. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Gracias.
Bridges ya llegó.
Tus puentes de oportunidades.